Brody, what's your first point?
Given what we've seen, what we know exists within the context of, free flight and all of that stuff, what I don't want to see is for this to just become a flying game. I would like it to still have the bits of platforming that makes Spyro special and unique. I enjoy the aspect of seeing something in the distance and going like, how do I get there? Let me figure out the route in my head, even if it's not immediately like A to B obvious. I might have to do some like spatial reasoning puzzling, and the glide is very intrinsic to that, where get up to a high spot, then I can go around this corner where I can't exactly see where I'm going, so I kind of have to intuit and know that I'm gonna get where I want to be. That's the kind of stuff I love. I don't want the free flight to basically mean that doesn't exist. But I also think there are so many ways that you can have your cake and eat it too with this, and I think we are seeing some of that. I think we could see like a Breath of the Wild stamina meter where you can glide whenever you want, but if you're ascending, that's using up stamina. I could see it being that you're upgrading your stamina meter so that by the end of the game you do have something more akin to a full free flight, but throughout the beginning of it you're having to use your environmental cues. We saw he created a fire, used the updraft, and then went through like a speed ring in the air. Having you have to rely on that, at least in the early game, makes sense to me because it allows you to still have that classic gliding spatial reasoning stuff. It gives you the ability to, where the designers want you to be going more up in the air and doing stuff like that, they can do that without giving you full access to free flight in a way that undermines all of the challenge.
One of the things that we noticed pretty quickly with the trailer was the opening cinematic is in a desert area that seems reminiscent of the Desert Barrens from Spyro 1. He's not flying in that section, and there's no brush in that section. What if there are levels that are designed in such a way that you don't have brush there? Maybe not brush there yet. Maybe plants can spawn, Zelda style, where like you bring a seed over and that spawns a plant that you can then set on fire, which is kind of rude, to then fly and gain a little bit of extra flight or to trigger your updraft. I like the idea of it being a Breath of the Wild styled stamina meter, because then you can break the game in your own way by being creative and, now I have more stamina, so I can start breaking the game a little bit more and more in that Mario Odyssey sort of way. And I think both of those are really compelling concepts because it leads to some really cool game design and visual design approaches if they are avoiding a lot of waist-high grass so that you can't updraft too much.
Ultimately, we don't want this being Superman 64. We don't want it to turn into that.